Hey everyone, welcome back. We've got another quick guide for you today about the next Void Intercept boss that seems to be causing people trouble. No, it's not Obstructor. I'm not planning on making a guide on that one, but if you need to know, he is very, very squishy when you meet him. It's just shoot the pink cage he makes when people get trapped and shoot the balls before they reach him in his enrage phase. Today's video is about the one before him, Pyromaniac. An OG boss from last year's beta that surprisingly was changed. He does less damage, less burns, and is tankier than last year. However, that doesn't mean he isn't dangerous. He still inflicts the first massive dot we experience in Void Intercepts, with a very strong burn whenever his flamethrower hits you. All other attacks also inflict a lesser but still significant burn. This boss is a pure DPS race. He is a massive sack of health that inflicts a massive amount of damage. Or is he? You might have noticed that your guns do a lot less damage than normal. About 5 to 10 times less damage. That's because Pyromaniac isn't just a sack of health that does a ton of damage. He also has a very simple gimmick. He has roughly 80 to 90% resist to firearm damage by default. In fact, he actually doesn't have that much health. Not as paper thin as Devourer or the next boss Obstructor, but he has a lot less raw HP than Dead Bride. Each Colossi has their own gimmick to teach you about the game. Dead Bride was a true massive sack of health with a passive retreating pattern that pushed you towards using medium to long range gun combat and punishing close range loadouts. Pyromaniac's gimmick is ability damage. While he has somewhat lower HP than normal, that 80 to 90% innate damage reduction to firearms makes it seem a lot tankier than it seems. He has absolutely zero innate damage reduction to abilities. This means any well-built Descendant with DPS abilities can rip him apart. Now, there are many choices here, being the obvious bunny laser that I use, but also Glaze Sniper, Jaber turrets, Lepic grenades, Kyle punches and slams, etc. Numbers-wise, people have told me Jaber turrets can land 60 to 80k crits on the boss. So the potential for any ability DPS, not just bunny, is really there. So how do you beat this boss? It's actually really simple. Pick a Descendant that has good ability DPS, use a build with strong power skill and power skill ratio of the appropriate elements, and necessary sustain stats for cooldowns or cost reduction so you can spam them more easily. Pal on HP and defense percent, and heat resist, because well I said this boss puts out a shit ton of damage, and if you have burn immunity gold mod it helps out too, but I didn't have it. It really isn't necessary, so long as you run whenever you pull his aggro. Now, this was the bunny I used in this video. It is completely overinvested for this fight by a massive amount, but hey, that's just because I'm a bunny main. Efficiency maximization was because I couldn't find skill maximization anywhere. This mod drops from Kingston and Vesper mine blocking, as well as Vesper defense. Skill optimize drops from Gravewalker Colossi kills or Vesper defense. Electric Specialist drops everywhere from overworld missions. Electric Master drops from Colossi fights. I don't remember which ones, but try Executioner. All you need to do is go in, make sure the boss doesn't currently have aggro on you, and dump your ability DPS nuke into the boss, then you rinse and repeat. For survivability during the fight, there are only a few things to watch out for. 1. Do not stay in front of the boss. Just like the Devourer, Pyromaniac has a frontal ground slam that does insane amounts of damage, and also applies a strong burn that can kill weaker builds in a single hit. It has a long windup with the sword, so you will easily see it coming, and unlike Devourer, it has an extremely long frontal line hitbox. But this also means the side hitboxes are small and low level. Surprisingly, you can jump over the sides of this attack by just jumping away diagonally. Now, do not get hit by this, it will ruin your day. 2. He is hard-coded to Enrage at below 10% shield, at 60% HP, and at 10% HP. If you take too long, he will enrage even sooner. The enrages can be delayed by ripping armor pieces off, letting you bypass enrage thresholds temporarily, or just outright killing the boss. Now, this is important because it means you can skip the third enrage if you time the DPS well. 3. He is hard-coded to stagger at 60% shield, 75% health, and 25% health. Use these windows to push DPS further and delay the enrage windows. You can chain a natural stagger with a part takedown stagger, which is a lot longer, back to back so that you can just kill him outright like I said earlier. This lets you get past the 25% stagger threshold and kill him before his 10% HP enrage. 4. While enraged, he will jump in the air and drop everyone from the sky after about 15 seconds initially. Save your second jump for when you're closer to the ground to prevent heavy landing. You can also grapple away mid-fall and is reliable when combined with a late double jump. He will do this again, about 10 seconds after his enrage ends, so twice per enrage cycle. 5. Try your best to not step into the chain rings and use your grapples wisely. They don't inflict that much damage, however every single one of them inflicts a stacking heat dot, and many rings can appear at once, so getting hit by a bunch easily can burn you to death. He's weak to cold, so mod your weapons to do that, but honestly, unless your weapons are fully decked out, they most likely will not do enough damage compared to your abilities. It takes significantly more investment to get your weapons good enough to kill this boss compared to just an easy ability DPS run. There really isn't much more to say with this, so instead, I'll just leave you footage of our carry runs we were doing yesterday for those that needed Pyromaniac kills. Cheers! If this is your first time watching, feel free to leave a like or better yet subscribe. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. 79.5% of you are not subscribed. Stick around if you want to see interesting memes and builds on a nearly daily basis. You don't want to miss out on any of that, do you? That'll be it for this video. Thank you all for watching and see you all next time.
ask me questions. And I really wanna know who holds my soul. When the shadows are fight, we'll seek and throw. They're spinning
Am I sorting out already?
just need to let go.
Time for a real run.
And I really